Alright, I'm going to talk about the civic mirror and what I've learned about it. So I'm going to answer a few questions. Alright, first of all, I'd like to start with that I wasn't the biggest fan of this at first, and I was very stressed out a lot about getting my hidden agenda accomplished. But now that it's over, I can really see the light at the end of the tunnel, and I can see what it really provided for me. It gave me knowledge on so many things that I don't think that I could have got from just sitting in class and listening to stuff. Alright, so what is society like? Like, what is it really like? What am I like? Okay, so I like to have for people to have a say. That's just how I am. But what I learned is that society cares about control. Basically, people want to be in power, and people say they don't want others in charge, but they wouldn't mind it if it was them. Also, society has strings attached to everything, such as money, service. No one is truly kind just because. You definitely see that in this sim. Also, not many people trust the government in any way, and I can see why. But when I was part of the government in the sim, it was very difficult because no one seemed to understand what we were trying to get done, even though we were really looking out for the people. It's also very hard to gain control. Not everyone would wait for people to talk. They would butt in, and it was really chaotic, and no one wanted to listen, and everyone else just wanted to talk, so it was very frustrating. And also, people lie a lot. Like, one of our people, Mason Walls, he was fascist, and he told us that Fred, the other fascist, was a humanitarian and that he would be a great judge. Well, yeah, it didn't turn out so well. So shouldn't have listened to that. The other question, what are my strengths and weaknesses or societies? What could I do to improve myself and society? My strengths were communication. I found that communication was key in this sim. You have to talk to people. You have to know what people are thinking, what people want. It's the only way you're gonna get anything done. And honesty. Like, I was really honest with what my beliefs were and everything. I mean, others weren't, but I was. Sometimes you can't be that honest, but that's what I did. My weaknesses were not seeing people meet in secret and not do much about it. Well, I saw them meet in secret, and I was like, I mean, I guess it's really nothing, but it ended up being really bad, and I should have paid more attention to little clues and really just kept my eyes open more, because I should have gained so much knowledge from that. Our nation's weaknesses, we lacked communication and involvement. There was probably about half the class who never said a word during the sim, which was very hard because you never knew what people wanted and all they did was complain. And it was really hard. What can I do to improve? I would probably pay more attention, that's what I said. To improve society, I would definitely have more government meetings outside of class. I think that was really hard, lack of communication, no one knew what was going on. When class, we just had to throw bills together the last second, not everyone knew what was being passed. It was really frustrating. Our nation's strengths, we faced every problem we could, just not enough time. And what has this sim experience changed my attitude and outlook? I'm a pretty trusting person, but this made me kind of not trust anyone. You should really question everything, and I really learned this from this simulation because now I know that I should really pay attention to what the government's doing. I should really keep on top of everything and just pay more attention. I think that's the biggest thing. What about this experience shocked me the most, and what can I learn from it? Resources. There are limited resources. In the sim, they have it just like it is in the real world. Nothing is renewable, pretty much. So now I'm going to be more careful in my real life about how I use resources, how wisely I take care of them and such. And it definitely surprised me how stressful it was, trying to get everything for your family and everything for yourself and trying to get your hidden agenda done. It's definitely not easy. I mean, I spent a lot of time out of class on this. I know a lot of people didn't, but since I wanted a really good grade in this class, I just worked my butt off, and I think that it was definitely worth it, but it's not easy. And what do I really learn to understand about law, government, and society? Alright, people usually do not follow the laws if they're not enforced well. We kind of had this problem where we pass a bunch of laws and we're like, yeah, we're doing a good job, like everyone's gonna listen to this. Well, no one ever really did, and we didn't have any control because it happened so fast, and we didn't think ahead about how we would actually like enforce it. Like I said, have anyone watch over and make sure that it's actually happening. You should really do that and hire people to do that. I think that's really a government flaw by us. And it's not always easy to get things done very fast. In Congress, it's hard to get people to agree on anything. Like, whenever I tried to propose an idea, sometimes the Senate would shut it down and vice versa. The Senate would propose and Congress would just not have it. I mean, the House would not have it. It is amazing how no one has revolted in the US. I really thought it was crazy during the sim that we had this country split up and everything, and it really blows my mind that since the Constitution there hasn't been many problems with people trying to rebel and everything. It's just amazing that people still follow this document. And it's hard to please everyone. Not everyone's gonna like what's going on. Everyone's gonna complain, and that's basically how it is in the real world. The government can't do everything. They can't provide everything for anyone. It's virtually impossible, and it's just very stressful. Society blames the government for just about everything, and I think you really see it in the sim. When I was part of the government, it wasn't fun. Everyone was blaming us, and I was doing so much to try and work towards better things, and no one seems to recognize it. That was really sad. How has a simulation prepared me for reality? I'll be able to vote next year, and now I'm really gonna keep up on politics, and now it has really showed me what kind of beliefs I have, what I think about politics, and what I think about how I view certain things, and it's just really good. What about the experience did I find frustrating? How much minorities were mistreated. It really showed a lot when people were just being so rude to them for no reason, just because they had a word next to them, their name, a minority, which is basically how it is in the real world. If your skin color, your race, your religion, like if someone just looks at you, then they just say, oh, you know, you're a minority and you don't get as much, and people were really treating them awfully, and it just kind of hurt a little bit. Now I'm really gonna make sure that they have their rights in real life. And how much people lie, I think that really got me. People just keep lying and lying, and I did not like that. And also how much people didn't care when others died. That was really rough. I know it was a simulation, but I think it really plays out in real life too, that there are deaths that go unknown and that people don't realize that it's going on because of natural causes such as like pollution and everything. It's kind of scary. And also how much who you were friends with really mattered. There were groups that formed, there was alliances. Also, if your friend was against you, then it was bad, because then you guys were talking and stuff, and then one of them just stabs you in the back. That's rough. So you really need to be careful. And I can learn to be more alert, allow like follow what's going on, and it's all about who you know and who you're friends with, really. When you're friends with someone and you know connections, you can really be inside everything. And I think that that's kind of sad because people were working really hard and they didn't get what they needed, but there were others who just knew certain people and got everything they needed. So that's what I can really take from this sim, and pay attention, please, if you are going to do this. Great. Thank you.